What's up, YouTube? This is Rapmastayoda from Dark Lords, coming at you guys with an arena domination video. We're going to be talking about how to take over your arena through the use of mods. So this is going to be the first video in a two-part series where we're going to discuss first the basics of mods, what they look like, what their characteristics are, how to go about getting them, and what the basics are that we're looking for before we start investing in the mods for our team. Second video, we're going to get a little bit more in depth, talk about some theory crafting, what kind of characteristics we're looking for as far as getting top tier competitive mods, but we'll cover that in the second video. So to jump right in, we're going to go into our character selection, bring up a character, and just start looking at some mods. So we've chosen our Kenobi here. He's got a pretty decent mod set on him here, nothing that I would brag about, but we do have some good mods on him that we can take a look at for the purposes of this video. So the first characteristic we want to take a look at with mods is the mark level, or the amount of dots above the mod. Currently this ranges from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. As far as arena, we want to make sure that we are looking for 5 dot mods for our whole team. If you guys want to be top tier, generally you're going to want 35 dot mods spread across your characters. There are certain times where you may get a really good 4 dot mod. It's worth upgrading. It's got the right primary, it's got all the right secondaries. So don't be afraid to work with 4 dot mods, but for the general, the higher the dot, the better. Over to the left, we've got the level. This is upgraded through credits. It ranges 1 through 15. And at levels 3, 6, 9, and 12, we get a secondary application. So if the mod has no secondaries, it's going to acquire a new secondary at each of those levels. If it comes with 4 secondaries, one of those secondaries is going to increase at each of those levels. Each mod, if we take a look at it, has one primary stat. This is decided by the shape of the mod. In this case, the square is always offense, the diamond is always defense, and the other 4 have a range of different primaries. There are 4 secondary stats, and you can see there are a whole different host of ones that we can have, and some are better than others. Generally, speed, flat offense, and flat protection are going to be very good. Critical chance is also another pretty decent one, because you can stack a lot of good secondaries of critical chance and really up your character's critical chance without having to waste the set bonus that we're going to talk about here in a second on critical chance. So that brings us straight into the set bonuses. The set bonuses are gained through pairing either 2 or 4 mods of a different set, and once equipped you get either a set bonus or a max set bonus if all of the mods required are level 15. So if it's a 2 mod set, you need 2 level 15s to get this gold bonus. If it's 4, all 4 need to be level 15. You can see that we have a lot of different set bonuses, and they range in the amount that they give you. So the next thing that we want to talk about is farming mods. So first we're going to talk a little bit about how to do it, then we're going to talk about why to do it and when to do it. So the way to farm mods is through the mod challenges section. We do not want to use the mods table to try and get mods. We just want to go ahead and build up squads, open these up. The easiest one is obviously health mods. It's open to all characters, so any 5-man team can complete that. The rest of these require a clan-based team. Now, one thing I want to point out is, while it is very key to open certain sets, all of them really, we do not want to overinvest in these teams, and this is a slow process. So I don't advise that you jump into it head first and dump all your resources into these teams. They are relatively simple events. They take 5-star characters with gear level 7 or 8 and level 70 to 75 typically. If you have decent mods on them, those kind of teams will conquer the event. But we do not want to divert resources from other parts of the game into that if we don't have to. And when I say that, I mean we don't want to take away from our arena. We want to make sure that we're continuing to push an arena. That's what this video series is about. So we want to make sure that we're concentrating on that and allocating our resources wisely. And then kind of to the side in our spare time, we want to be working on opening up these mod sets. So we'll take a little bit of a look at what farming looks like now. So generally we want to open the third tier of the challenge before we really start farming them. If we're really desperate for something, if you need something very specific and you just can't get that third tier, you know, the second tier, sometimes you can get some good 4-dot mods out of it, but we want to really strive to get to that third tier. So we're a little low on energy, so let's go ahead and get a little refresh, and let's sim a couple of these and see what happens. Now, one great thing recently the developer changed was now this event is 100% drop rate. And you can see our first one wasn't too bad. We got some colored mods. This is one thing we haven't talked about yet. The color represents what they call the rarity of the mod. Green will give you 1 secondary, blue will give you 2 secondaries, purple will give you 3 secondaries, and gold will give you all 4 secondaries already equipped, which means that you will get a chance at getting better secondaries because the secondaries that are equipped will go higher than when you just get a raw application. So let's take a look at the other ones that we got. Very humdrum, nothing much to see. So typically when we're farming, we want to be looking for purple or gold mods. That's where we're really going to get good mods for the arena because they're going to have the appropriate level of secondaries. So let's give it another shot, see what we get. Now, the reason why this 100% drop rate is great and why you should farm mods, you should definitely take some kind of resource allocation, whether you use your natural gain to farm the character out of Cantina and then buy 1 refresh per day to do this, or vice versa. You want to make sure that you're spending some energy daily on these. Everybody needs mods. Mods are the biggest key to succeeding in Arena. And then B, on the back end, we can take these mods and we can sell them for credits, and this is one of the few areas of the game that you can currently convert 1 raw resource into credits. You can take squad arena tokens and exchange them for credits, and then you can use energy in PvE and get a little bit of credits back. You can get Galactic War, which does not require a resource and yields a lot of credits. But this is one of the few places where you can take a type of energy and get a significant amount of credits back on it. So here's an interesting mod that we have, and we are going to level this guy up to see what happens, because in certain scenarios, like for a tank, this may be a really good mod. So let's go ahead and equip it on somebody and see what happens. So lately I've been liking Admiral Thrawn. So let's filter by speed and let's find this particular mod that we were looking for. There it is, pretty easy to find. It's the only blue one we've got at level 1. So we're going to assign it, and then we are going to upgrade it and see what happens to these secondaries. So this is nice, so we'll see what it looks like when they upgrade, and then we'll see what it looks like when they apply naturally. So 3, 6, 9, 12, those are our levels. We'll go one at a time. 3. So we get a little bit of a double up there on the protection. Let's go to 6, see what happens. Now we were hoping we would hit the protection again there. The health isn't too bad, but typically when it comes to mods, protection is always greater than health, because you can affect your protection at a far greater rate than health. I.e., the circle gives you 5.88% health as a primary maxed out, and protection you get 23.5%. So while characters naturally have less protection than health usually, you can apply far more protection through the modding system. So let's go on, let's take this guy to level 9. Now you can see we get a health percentage. That is one of the worst secondaries we can get. And then we get some flat defense. Now flat defense is underrated as a secondary. you can definitely stack those up and really up the survivability of the character. And in this case, this has actually panned out to be a decent mod. We really wanted to see a speed secondary because this is a speed set, and we want to make sure that we're applying some secondaries. One thing to note about flat secondaries versus set bonuses: set bonuses apply based on the character's ambient stat before flat secondaries are applied. So like this speed bonus will apply to your character's natural speed and then a speed set, or if you were using an offense set, it would apply to their ambient stat of offense, all the different stats that incorporates before flat offense would be applied. So that kind of wraps up what we're talking about as far as basics. I wanted to make sure that we got a good introduction to the mods and everybody was on the same page of what they look like, what they're geared like. In the next video, we're going to get into some more detailed information as far as theory crafting, advanced tactics, and how to make this work for you in Arena. So thanks for checking this out, guys. Make sure you check out the second part. Like, subscribe, share.